And that was the thing. It's not an agent that we typically see entering because he doesn't have those kind of abilities. Whereas Omen, he allows you to do that. That's what he's built for.
And let's see, though, right, when it comes to it, because Angel isn't just the Omen. He is the entry fragger as well. He's the one you normally see picking up that Vandal. Mitch, I'll happily say you were right when it comes to this. We are going on split. We're getting our first split of the tournament. Who do you think's the one that picked it, though?
Oh, well, I mean, that's you're really throwing me on the bus there, Banks. I would imagine... we've been told it's FunPlus Phoenix. I would have imagined G2, honestly. I think they've got a pretty good split.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest on that one. They've only lost it to Party Pirates. They do pretty well against all the other teams like NIP, Fabrican. They lost to Party Pirates once and beat them another. I think probably just the fact that they've played these rosters that they, over on the FunPlus Phoenix side, they think, okay, we know how they play it. Between them, they've played 3 games against... They played 3 of the 6 games that G2 have played on this map. But yeah, I would have imagined that just because of the previous results in the past, G2 would have went, hey, we can pick split, we can dominate them on it.
I'm excited, though, because I remember Party Pirates on split, and Angel's aggression was ridiculous.
Yeah.
His entry fragging when it comes to a map like this, it just suits him perfectly. Not so many corners to check, right? Not so many angles. I think it's a bit more of a stable map than that, especially if you're going to hit the A site, right? The A site has that linear kind of way to it. Just go up high, you look for it, you see the Sage Wall kind of get dropped up. But I want to see realistically what aggression G2 are able to throw at a team like FunPlus Phoenix, who also can really mix it up. You don't sit there with FunPlus Phoenix and say, oh, they have the one-dimensional style of play. Angel definitely mixes up. We saw it yesterday. How many times did we go from fast to slow to completely just, like, they were waiting out, and it was just another different level we'd seen to this team. And I feel like, although Angel's the in-game leader, I feel like there's definitely a good mix that they're throwing in here of knowledge from all players on this.
Oh, definitely. They've got so much experience across this roster. Angel's obviously going to be the fallback when it comes down to any competitive FPS, just because he's 31, Banks. That's very old, isn't it?
Yeah. It's very close to my age, Mitch. You be careful, boy. Angel already took your money in poker.
Oh, come on. Come on. You got to bring that up every time? God damn it.
So fun fact for everyone watching.
Oh,
Mitch
God.
lost a lot of money to Angel in poker, so he's not only good at Counter-Strike, but Mixwell is pretty damn good with the pistol to start off it. Oh, David, you got to be careful. Throws the slowdown. He does manage to get out of there. That was close. That was super close. He stays in for the fight, and he's actually going to walk away with a kill. This is nicely done. Artis puts the boom bot down. It gets a bit scary, but it is blown up. It's going to force him back for the meantime. Nicely done. Look at the patience from Artis. Those are headshots and a half, Mitch. What a clean round to kick us off with here from G2. FPX didn't stand a chance.
No, left into right clicking on that one. I like it because he's guaranteed at least to get more damage done if he felt like he was about to die to the ghosts. That was really nicely handled. Just look at this. Tap, right click, tap, right click. Just deal with it.
So well done at that range.
Was it even right, or was it just the power of the headshot reverb? Either way, really well handled by Artis. He's got himself a little double kill to start it off. On track to get his ultimate, which was obviously pushed up to 7 ult points. And to go the full way to get the rocket. And on a 1-0 lead, G2 are feeling good. What I like as well in the change for Angel is that it used to be a very, for himself, semi-one-dimensional. And that he didn't have a lot of options for entering his brim. It felt like he was either going to be first man running out B with Xiao trading him, or first man running out mid with Xiao trading him. And often it worked out, not even for the trade, so he was able to then move into different positions afterwards. But those early rounds, he didn't have a lot of versatility. Now he opens up the ability to go towards the A site because he's got his smokes, he's got his TP. There's a lot you can do there. For example, taking the height, that just as you walk through where that smoke has landed now, there's that little elevated platform you can go up on.
I think what Artis summed up really well, right, is that when you have Party Pirates, you just had to fear Xiao and Angel, and then everyone else you weren't worried about. So once they were gone, it was like, oh, okay, cool. But then now you go up against this lineup, and they are scary from start to finish. But Padatek will also make this look very scary. Managed to get a couple of kills up on the board. He slows them down, that's for sure. 2 left, but it is a 2 versus 3 now. And it's actually in favor of FPX. Quite a bit of damage done. If the Sage Heal can come online in quick enough time, they might be able to bring the breach back up into it. Zipan far out in the open. Artis sealing the deal with 3 quick kills. and that's no problem at all for him. First of all, he did it with a pistol, then he does it with the Spectre. He's just having a good old time.
About as easy as the comebacks, isn't it? Just one after another.
Artist has this way of making things look incredibly easy as well.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter, like, you just saw it with the classic on the first round, just tap, right-click, tap, right-click. It's like, you're just a robot, aren't you?
This man's just walked out Evan in a what was a 1v3 because his teammates weren't there to help him right at the time. If I do that, I'm dead before I even walk out. I think, oh, I might walk out of heaven and someone just kills me immediately. It's ridiculous. He just hits every single shot. Look at this. Straight on to the right on a nice little flick. Really well controlled. But my favorite thing about Artis is watching his stream. He's always so excited.
He really is. He really is. And he's just, thing is, with that interview we did with him, right, where they'd won the previous tournament, that's the level of hype that Artis just brings to the table every single time. I can imagine what the team comms are like.
Oh yeah,
like, if he's popping off on a game, I'll be like, can you slow down, Artis? Most of us, English isn't our first language. We can't understand you, let alone that you're Scouse and you're doing this.
Dude, I'm Irish. I was honestly sat there watching the stream, having to really pay attention to get a lot of it. It's like, this is not how it should be. So I feel bad for Mixwell.
He doesn't care about where he's from, right? He just said he's a Scouse. He's like, I'm not English, I'm just Scouse. It's like,
yeah, it's like
okay.
Fearoth in Ireland. That's exactly it.
Why do I have to live like this with you?
Oh, here we go. The wall can go up. David P not yet on the res. He's miles away after not really getting anything done in those early rounds.
Mixwell, though, there on the backup plan. Angel's gone. They get a second as well. Meadow fallen as well. Zipan's going to go on the hunt. Mixwell needs to be careful. He's not actually looking the right way.
Oh. That was awkward on the first shots, but he got him eventually. Dealing with him, and now looking to group up with his teammate to make this 2v2 happen. G2 are in positions down below, though. David P right below the window, waiting for a peek to come on through. He sees them, and Trigger Discipline comes in to effect the spray down for the double, and an easy round for G2, connecting a third. It came close with Zipan, grabbing the flank on Mixwell, but it's not enough, and they'll go down to an eco.
That Trigger Discipline, right? How many players make the mistake? And this is for any player that does just start to get involved in Valorant or an FPS. When you see that, just be poised and ready. You do not have to take the first shot. You can wait it out a little bit. And he did this to perfection, right? He saw it, he followed it, he made sure his cross is in the right place. And until they just turn and look at you, don't take the shot. He sees the second one falling, boom, bomb, bang, and they are done. Yeah,
he's such a smart player when it comes down to choosing when to aggress. And this is where, again, I have to just praise David P because the turnaround from Counter-Strike, like Patatek and himself have reached new heights immediately in this game.
Agreed.
I do wonder, it was a theory, but Venus run on Eco, right? I just want to discuss this. If something interesting happens, we can interrupt the point very quickly. But I wonder if on your second game of the same category, right? An FPS, for example. Yeah, you're versus an eco artist that was just so unnecessary.
Over the top.
It's so unnecessary. But I wonder, right? When you start in a game, right? You start in Counter-Strike. You learn bad habits as you go along, right? You spend a long time trying to get rid of them, but you have a very biased way of how to play the game based on what you've learned as you've been coming up throughout Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
When you go to Valorant, you have to relearn because there's so many new aspects. It's not like a copy of It's very different with all the abilities that are in play. Brings a new level. So you have to relearn everything you thought about the game. There's only very few principles you'll carry forward, and those are and you have to reevaluate all of your principles of how to play a comp FPS. I wonder if that then allows these players that are broken down in some of these other games by maybe being too selfish or playing a certain way that doesn't work or isn't the best way to play the game. And then they just come into this and they have to relearn their habits and they come in with a new flair.
I think the benefit, right, for a lot of players, doesn't matter what FPS game they come from, is that the fact they went to Valorant so early on, if they came from another game, it meant they saw something and, oh, wow, he only gets one to start off with, the grenades going out as well. Full frontal force coming out from Artis. He even just goes in to grab the ult orb. He just assumes no one's going to push him at this point.
That's ridiculous. For this level of Valorant to be doing that, Artis just doesn't care.
This is why they've given him the raise for Split, isn't it? It's like, Artis, go have fun.
But we talk about it all the time with G2, that this is a team that are aggressive, but not in the same way as other teams. Usually it's smart aggression, but also they don't give you respect. If they're feeling like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if I did this thing? They go and do it. And Artis is the main culprit of that kind of gameplay. That was a ridiculous lack of respect. Just charging at them on their buy round. And it worked out.
And already, right, just in a normal round, they've had to expend their revive. Artis just walks straight in and gets domed by Zipan. He's flying through the air. It's Raze versus Raze. Zipan's looking for more, but Panatek, he stands strong in this one. Spike will be able to get planted. They need to be able to hold a good defense here. Certainly not out of the dark just yet. Meadow in a nice spot, but Mixwell, wow, fast and furious. Knives are flying. He opens up with the first kill. He's going to try and get some more done. The teleports come in. Patatek trying to sneak his way through. A revive now being used on the side of G2. Mixwell's finding more, but he's only good for one. They're coming round into this, and it's Xiao, the young superstar. He wants to hold on to this. They know exactly where to look from. They're not trying to spam him up just yet. He gets himself another kill, but it's David P to finish it off. It is the 1v1. David P played it well, and still not around on the board here for FPX.
They are struggling on the attacking side, not to get access into these rounds, but to close them out. As David P, for the second time, saves the day. Been having a huge defensive side. Just look at this again from Artis. Like, I have no idea how he's there that quickly. You had the paranoia go through to blind them up as well. It's what we mentioned. It's not just aggression. You'll see people do that, go, oh, I've got a raise, let me just blast forward and attack them. But it's the fact that Patatek is firing that paranoia through at just the right angle that anyone there is being blinded. Allows Artis to go through, find the kill, bail out before he really faces any problems. The nade as well just keeps them back. I love watching G2 just for that kind of thing. They definitely are approaching it with the heavy analytical power that you need to really perform when it comes to these kind of FPS games. You look at everyone's ability and figure out how exactly can we best combine these to find success. And right there it was Artis using blast packs to speed up his aggression. And obviously the Omen using the most powerful blind in the game.
I love this from Zipan. They're going to expect him to want to push a little bit here, and he's just waiting on the ramp. He doesn't want to go too far. His teammates have still got plenty of time. He's got a good idea on the rotation coming through. Oh, the Sage might just push into... Oh, he was moving to the side. If he just stayed into the corner, he might have had a bit of a better chance there. But Meadow is still able to even up the numbers when it comes into it. Angel spots out. Oh, he still lands the headshot. He's so good with that Vandal. He controls it incredibly well. Making sure the orb is going to be put down. This could be the round. They're in a 4v2. But it is still Artis in play. He's missed some key shots. The Omen's looking to help him break his way through. Satchel's going down, grenades as well, but Artis doesn't quite have a read on the location. Meadow's on the flank, and this is huge. Nice shot landed by Shadow. No problem at all for him.
Oh, that TP. They know.
Oh, Angel's like, where has he gone?
There's only one place he can be, and they figured it out eventually. But Patatek comes through with the kill. Meadow, so patient. And that's one thing I want to commend. Something that we don't talk about too often when we look at the FPX lineup for the previous Zip and Go kill. Meadow is often playing over towards the opposite side to where these guys are. You'll see him put his cam down, then rotate or play super slow around it, using his Cypher utility on the attack to really harass and rob any information. He's a participant if they do decide to push a lot of the time in using his cages as smokes, but also in using them as fakes towards different parts of the map. And right in that round, he slowed down the rotates towards A, using up his cam, making some noise so they know there is a player there. Potentially it's an info play and could lead into a push. But then he's so patient when it comes to those flank plays as well. They did not expect him to be coming behind that late. They thought surely he would have made a move by now. But no, he shift walked all the way from outside of A to upper B. And you just can't account for patience like that in the first couple rounds.
Now the thing here, Mitch, for FPX is they need to get this second round. They need to try and make something work. They're going up against pistols. They cannot afford to lose it. Ooh, David P. You're tempting fade a little bit there, my friend. Artis is continuing to just... It's just so aggressive. It's so confident the whole way through with that raise.
I love that nade, so it went out a little bit deeper, so it wouldn't actually have caught the player if he was in the corner, but then Artis threw in a blast pack. So that blast pack would push you forward, and he timed it just as the nade exploded. So you'd actually be sat in the corner thinking, you know what, I'm safe, and then boom, you're out in the open in the middle of the cluster grenade. One kill to be found by Patatek, a second as well on the Ghost before he's eventually dealt with. That's a very nice situation considering the economy they've invested. Oh, Zip and caught off guard. The timing was terrible. Luckily, he had his teammates there to cover fire.
Still taking damage at the back of the site. It was Artis. He's trying to make sure he can get some damage done. We'll walk away with one kill. This is actually doable here. They can pick up the weapons in the back lines. This is such good communication from G2. They've both going to get themselves weapons. They do have armor as well. A retake is certainly possible. 2 versus 2. Oh, the flash though. Good timing. Shadow and Xiao different positions, kept themselves together, kept themselves moving forward, and they will secure that second round. But that was a heavy amount of damage done on the side of G2. It doesn't matter what weapons they have, they're going to make your life incredibly hard.
Well, that's their job as the #1 team in the region, really, isn't it? At the moment, it's hard not to mention Pith is having one hell of a rough game. Happens to everyone from time to time.
He plays on B, though. I think it's such a hard site, right?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Because you have 2 normally towards mid, and you have 2 on A, and he's just a solo B player as the Cypher. He can only do so much with the camera and spotting it out, and if they start to push, he's like, okay, I got to try and hold on to this.
Just put a lot of pressure on your shoulders, though. Like, you have to minimum be delaying them for the rotates to come through.
Yeah.
What I enjoy about the position he's currently in is that realistically, okay, they're pushing for. Oh no, he's screwed in this position. Nothing he can do. That smoke saved him. The nade goes, the rocket goes through, and the nade. Eventually, he's dealt with, but he survived so long. The drop down as well, not dealt with. Artis good for a frag, but that is all as Meadow deals with him. The res comes through, and it should be FPX with another round.
Angel's in a great spot, though. He can really throw them off. They will not expect it to be so high up. He gets himself the first. Now his position's known. This is great from David P and Mixwell, though. Can they find some more? Mixwell's just going to have to back away. That was looking like it was game on that retake. You can see how cautious FPX are doing. They know that Mixwell could potentially go for something like this. 3, though, in a row now, Mitch, for FPX, and they've at least managed to get their foot in the door. They've just got to play a bit more catch-up.
Considering the success that they had on the attacking side in the rounds they lost, I'm not feeling like they're really behind by that much. Definitely, like you're saying, there's only a little bit of catching up to do. Mixwell survives a wallbang headshot, and he'll be walking out of there unscathed.
It's very costly there, though, for the FPX side.
Oh, it definitely is.
Once he got the first kill, I'm not a big fan of just like continuing to try and take that away from him. I understand the benefit of trying to take an operator away from Mixwell, but it's like, when do you decide maybe this isn't such a good idea?
Yeah, the flash, see, he swung out wider. That would have been an okay peak considering the flash. In fact, it would have been perfect.
Yeah, just if you went not at that time, you know?
Yeah, if he hadn't have swung that little bit wider, or if he had waited and pushed together, but obviously they didn't know he was there initially. But 5-3, attacking side split, this is fine, considering they've had, what, 2 close rounds where they almost managed to find it, even better. That boombot going through, you might think, well, this is very early usage, right? The whole logic there is that it's going to destroy the tripwires as it goes on past. But it leaves 1 left. I think it might have been thrown down afterwards. With that, G2 still have what is probably a surprise tripwire. Not the kind of surprise you're going to be hoping for. And a 3-man stack towards B with Artis playing down below the backside. What this does mean is that they have a very passive hold towards middle and A, where they're just pixel holding it with Mixwell. Patatek has to watch ropes, but can't really do a whole lot about holding upper. But that's what the tripwire up there is for. They do push forward, at least they'll get the info before the peak can come through.
Yeah. Gives them a lot more control that way.
It's
sometimes you can overcommit to mid, right? We see so many teams do it where they put a lot into it.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, we'll hold it, and then they forget about some of the main spots, right? You underdevelop a site when it comes to holding it.
I think especially if your Cypher is struggling to hold B solo, you have to just give up that control. But this is the problem. FPX can then get an easy split, getting control of upper through ropes, and the wall completely locks them out. Oh, no, it doesn't. It actually does anything but lock them out. That's a terrible wall. But
Maybe
Xiao
they're
might
going to
look
think
to
it's
push
a
up
terrible
behind.
wall and Xiao just make it work.
Patatek's just got a 3K holding down the site, completely destroying them. Maybe he should be the solo B player. There's now a 4-man stack towards this side, and as they go to get the spike back up, it's in the middle of the open. It's so easy to find Patatek on a 4th, not the ace. Xiao makes sure of that, but he can't even get this planted. At this point, it's impossible, and he's going to be taken down.
Hunted down, no problem at all. Now a 6th round for G2. The defensive side does look good, and they put a halt to what FPX were trying to do.
Spike is down.
Patatek back at the side, right in the open as well. He wasn't even really held too much. Just like, okay, I'll just hold this, no problem.
And they had control of upper. It's just the odd thing as you run out, you
Yeah.
imagine there's very few angles you really have to focus on at that point. Most of the groundwork is already done.
Oh, I like this from Meadow.
It's the difference between like, oh no, Zipan.
Unlucky.
He heard it coming, and it's not the first time that nade has been thrown either.
No.
but possibly he was just accepting the damage so he could throw his own nade through, knowing that the heal was up for his teammate. And if they're going to take this round kind of slow, it could be worthwhile to try and get that kill with the nade and push the player to be open. Just didn't really get any reward for it this time. At least he's not dead.
G2 really not giving FPX an opening, though. Not going to allow them to find any success at this point.
That knife changes color every time you take it out, doesn't it? Is that the upgrade they've got on it?
I have no idea. I don't have that knife.
I've seen it change a couple times. Pretty cool.
Paradek just looking to do some more lockdown. Taking the spray through. He'll be able to pass on this information to Mixwell, who's patiently waiting.
Oh,
Ooh, good timing, though.
so with control of upper, you've got pistols. Blitzing out towards the site probably seems like the most tempting with his 3 players here. They've got a good crossfire. Patatek is dealt with. They're not making the mistake of leaving him unchecked this time. And Mixwell pops the ult, turns from the flash. He's good, still got control. But is he going to be aware there's still 2 players towards upper? And Xiao swings out, catching him by surprise. Now putting FPX in a decent advantage. They lose Xiao, but there's a second player towards upper, over by ropes. This again should be left completely unchecked and leave Zipan in a position where he can catch them all, but he fires too early. Way too early on that one. Giving away his position. I suppose the ult was about to reveal him anyways, but doesn't even make it down the ramp unscathed. And he's pretty much out of this play. They can deal with him on range so quickly. Now it's just about dealing with sight. There's Zipan gone, but they managed to take down Artis in the meantime. And time is so low, they've got to make a move quickly, Banks.
Nicely held by Meadow to start off with, but he was only good for 1. Shadow needs to do this perfectly. Gets himself the first, and that's with the frenzy, and it's no problem at all for him. Has to run away, and he will be able to survive. Whew,
I love
closer than close.
It was a really nice play by him as well. So he took out the frenzy, stepped to the... So he was like right in the middle. Stepped to the right and just started pre-firing at exactly the right time as Pith went around this corner. Watch this. Swing to the right, pre-fire. Yeah, that was beautiful. Waited for the sound cue of Pith coming. The reaction time on that was just insane. And 6-4 we go. FPX are in a spot with 4 rounds to the 6 of their opponent that... It's a good attack. It's not amazing. They're not winning by any means, but they're not losing either. This is just bang on good performance. And against G2, it's more than we can say for most teams when they're in this spot. Now, G2 are also very scary on the defensive side. And at the moment, they don't seem to be. They're not the beast that could have been. That TP to the back has spotted the nade, though. Alongside the slow, it baited Angel into pushing, and he loses a lot of health. Mixwell can go over.
Horrible.
He can updraft.
So many abilities.
You will not kill
Meadow's
my
doing well.
ally.
Zipan being brought back to life is strong. Oh, Mixwell just on the edge of that, just about manages to keep himself away. More of a spam coming through. Shout, he'll deliver. Meadow still putting in work. Do you know what? Look how low their health is. So many players there for FPX were not looking strong, Mitch. And I gotta say, if there had been a better time, just a slightly better time from G2, they would have had that, because that slow, the grenades that came through, that could have just obliterated most of the members there of FPX.
Yeah, I wonder if that was intentional as well, the timing on the TP to backside alongside the nade, that they would kind of go, oh, let's push through the slow and get him before he TPs. Nade comes in, and all of a sudden, you're losing most, if not all of your health. It very nearly, definitely could have been a kill if it was delayed by a quarter of a second. If that was intentional, that is the biggest brain play I've seen. The combination of 2 abilities and an ult.
I'm all for it.
It's what I'm talking about when I say G2 were just insane, though, because they come in with these really big innovations to the game that you won't see from most other teams. I feel like they've spent a long time just looking at like a list of abilities in a matrix and going, how can these relate to other abilities? What can we possibly do with these 2 things? Like, I'm sure at one point they thought of Mixwell updrafting while Artis bounces an 8 off his head and he just headbutts it in somewhere.
Oh, Mixwell. Sneaky, sneaky.
Hello.
Gets the first, no problem at all. They're going to try and spam him, but he's not been touched just yet. Oh, this is a horrible round if you're FPX. Oh,
That's so good. The nade. Oh, and he goes through afterwards for more.
Way.
That's nasty. So that was so smart. They, first of all, you know there's a player left side. He's just been spamming. The nade goes through. one of two things happens there. The player runs back through the nade, takes damage, you hear his steps, and you start spraying and probably kill him on the way. Or secondly, when the nade comes through, you now know he is in the left corner. There's nowhere else he can be if he didn't run physically away. So Mixwell smokes the right side here and just swings close range to take that kill. So look, that's easy information. He knows he's left. Swing, bang, dead. Beautiful stuff. And then this was just overkill. That was unnecessary. Didn't need to do him like that.
Didn't need to do him like that indeed, mate. What on earth? What was so brilliant is the fact that, like, not only when he put the smoke down, but, like, he was going to move at first because they could have spammed it. But as soon as he realized they weren't going to spam it, because they were worried as soon as they spam, he'll push through.
Yeah.
Especially with the weapon he's got. So he was able to just have full confidence.
I don't know what's been happening here with G2. I feel like they've had a boot camp where they just, like, made them make a shape of a tuning fork and hit each other off.
The shorty. He's shorty, and Shao's got a pistol to pick up behind him as well to go to the classic afterwards.
He's actually naded Mixwell on a jet. Couldn't even dash out of there.
This is really nice. They've not even got even close to a site yet. G2 being pushed back.
They've barely seen anyone back there. Behind smokes, getting naded, and now just getting domed. The firing squad is out the plane. Yeah, it feels like in plays like the previous round that we saw, that last buy round, that G2 are just on the same wavelength. Because I find it hard to believe in a situation like that where Mixwell knows there's a guy on the right, that he can... So one of two things. I find it hard to believe he can communicate the exact situation, where the nade is needed, how it's needed, and all that sort of stuff, all in that short period of time. And then I also find it very hard to believe that the likes of Artis can react to that so quickly to place the nade exactly where it was needed at just the right time. It feels like they're constantly looking at each other and thinking, how can I possibly set this guy up the best? And the communication must be on point, which with Artis in the TeamSpeak is very impressive. he gets so loud. I love it. I love watching this.
You might be overselling some of these points at the moment, Mitch, for sure, though. I'm down where I can see the teamwork, I can see the communication, but, like, on the level of the timing...
The deep nade just blew me away. It was so perfect. I don't know if that was, like, just pure chance that it happened to go there in the exact spot at the exact right time.
If it was called for and intentional, great, but, like...
Yeah. I feel like with this lineup, it happens far too often. Like,
my camera is destroyed.
They seem definitely more attentive to the situation their teammates in than what we see from any of the others.
I'll give them that they're more reactive, right? And that's how they play it out. I can get with that. But sometimes you just know, right? Mixel's being aggressive, so I just like, cool, I'm coming to back you up, and then it just all gets thrown out with it. We've heard their comms on the streams.
Oh, yeah.
If just running and gunning and trying to make sure he can get some work done, but instead he'll just fall at the hands of Shadow. Now we're on 7-7. Got to remember that this is FPX's map pick. They haven't had a win thus far. They tied yesterday. It's G2 who grabbed their 2-0 yesterday, and they're looking to do more of the same here and now. And for round of 2, we know that G2 love the best of 3s because they haven't lost these best of 3s. They're the series champions. But in round of 2, they can easily just go 1-1, right? We've seen them drop maps.
Oh, definitely.
What's the stats on G2 split? I honestly don't see them play it that much.
5 out of 6 wins.
Okay, yes, okay, that makes sense.
They lost to Party Pirates, but they also beat Party Pirates and Fabrican as well. Ooh. So they've beaten the core of this team a couple times.
Oh, Angel, they're just lining up for you to get a couple of easy headshots. Mixwell does fire back, though. No option for revive up on the Sage. Xiao's in a good spot from here, but he's going to back away just in the nick of time. G2 start to make their approach. They're coming through mid. They've gone away from the A bomb site, but it seems like FPX have got a good read on this. If Xiao can just be good for a couple of kills, it's going to be huge, but that Boombot's going to push him away. He doesn't want to give away his position, which is huge. He's going to make sure they have no idea. He's rotating all the way around, but there is a smoke down already on top of it. Artist looking for it. Oh, look, this is so smart. They've left the site. Xiao's able to get one. G2 are completely confused. They're like, there should be someone here. Oh, Meadow gets the spike as well. This is 100 IQ. Let them have the site. Everyone back away from position. They come in and G2 are going, huh?
100 IQ is just bang on average. Yeah. It's just average gameplay. No, it is. It's really solid stuff. FPX showing us that, like, I would be so happy if they actually win this. If they manage to take a map off G2, that would be insane. for the FPX lineup especially. I mean, it's been so long that you've seen Fabrican and Party Pirates not get invited to tournaments, not get the org. They make it through open qualifiers gruelingly. They're playing like, what, you're talking 10 hours, 12, 14 in some cases a day just to get through these open qualifiers. Then they're coming into tournaments right afterwards. And then they still deliver a lot of the time. They're still exciting teams to watch. That's pretty incredible. And yet, they never got that backing. Now for them to be on FunPlus Phoenix, you know they're grateful for this. They want to deliver that performance, and they're coming in with 100% of what they can bring to the table. At the moment, that gives them a lead over G2. For how long will it last, though? Oh, well, Angel needs to be very careful about peeking aggressively through.
He does need to be careful indeed. G2 are not a bunch of players you want to go up against with pistols and just poke out into blindly. They're going to try and hit this B site, but Xiao's in position. The Boombot's not going to push him away. 3 clean kills, and it's no problem at all for him. 2 players remain. The spike is still up and in place. Zipan's nade. Gets close, but won't find himself a kill. Mixwell able to take him down. Zipan unaware of the position it might be had there. They upgrade their weapons. Marshall goes down. Oh, this is scary. The Sage on the edge of it. Oh, but he doesn't expect it at all. Patatek, you made that look good. Now he's teleported up high. They might have heard the sound cue. They might have a good idea where he is, but this is certainly winnable for G2. And they had pistols in their hands. Oh, place been spotted up. It's a 1-for-1. Mixwell's got his ult up. 88 health. He needs to be able to get this. He throws the knives out and he lands the headshot as well. Oh. Careful. Ah!
He got there eventually.
He's like, nope, nope.
At the last second.
8-8, as close as we can get.
Oh, man. His knife's turned green. That's the green light.
It looked like it was just going to be cleanup, right? Xiao 3 kills from the very beginning, no problems.
To still lose that round, that's got to be pretty tilting. And Xiao delivering what we know he can. It was only up against the pistols, though, and that's where it felt like, you know, okay, it's just shut down completely. You shouldn't see anything really from G2, and then here they are, equalized up. That lead that should be FPX is now 9-7. No longer exists. G2 now fighting to put their opponents down to a pretty weak buy, if I'm remembering correctly. Never trust the UI.
What's crazy, right? You saw that push just on that previous round. They all died to Xiao. So what did Mixwell do? With a short, he just ran into sight. The guy never expected it. He was so fast into there, gets a weapon, and that's the one that helps him win. If it wasn't for that, this probably wouldn't have been around. It would be 9-7 right now in favor of FunPlus Phoenix.
100%. And FPX have got to feel a little bit deflated, but the chances haven't completely faded away for them to walk away with a lead. If they can manage to win this one, they'll again upset the G2 economy. Oh, that was so close. Shadow was just a second too late, spamming through that cage. The paranoia comes through, but he's not caught by it. He lets the first buy. Didn't even hit that shot. It's Meadow that's forced to clean it up, finding a double before Artis deals with him and Xiao within a second. Patatek now in upper. Here's the ult go through. A little bit late to react, but still deals with Zipan after just the 1 kill. It is going to G2. And we see FunPlus Phoenix now in a position where I think they can't buy all too strongly. No, okay, I see Phantoms come out. Must have misread that. It's the next round that will put them down to an eco. It's hard to keep track without sidebars. I miss sidebars.
If Zipan's ult there, right, had actually got 2 players, they would have made maybe a chance, but he was just a bit late to the party when that spike was being planted.
Oh, you can actually see there's a little bit of a strain on the economy. Because that round was kind of slow, right? They used up a majority of their abilities. They even used ultimates as well. You've got light armor coming out. You've got a Bulldog. Very capable weapon. I love it. I actually think it feels like the best weapon in the game. Like, as in, when I use it, I feel the best about how it handles.
Okay.
I don't think it is the best weapon by any means, but I love the feel of it, is the point I'm trying to make. But yeah, there's one Bulldog in play as well, which is obviously going to be a little bit harmful. You'd much rather have your Phantom or your Vandal, even if you think it's a cool, trendy weapon. Moving in towards the B site to start things off. And G2 coming in for upper. Ultimate popped out now. Raze goes down. Artis able to take Meadow with that ult. And now they're just going to slow it. Slow the play. Get that plant down. No need for any more aggression. They've got a 1-man advantage, excuse me. They lost their Sage, but so did their opponents. So both of those resurrections will go unused.
Artis in a nice spot, but it's easily checked. He's got the shadow orbs around him. Push starts to come in. He manages to get one still. They were jumping on top of his head. Eventually, he's finished off. Mixwell in the backside. He's got the crossfire. But it's not going to work out. Zipan just went straight in for it. Piff has to be so careful here. Oh, he's completely blinded out. He knows where they are. He's not going to get the kill, and that's a really strong retake. Such good positions from G2, but it did not matter.
No, it didn't in the end. It felt like that was going to be G2's through and through with how things opened up for them. Those post plans not working out to equalize it up again, 9-9. FPX, or each team actually having the same ults online. Similar to the previous, G2 had to expend theirs to get in there as we saw Artis popping out the showstopper. Stopping the life of Meadow, dead in its tracks, but ending just about there. As we move into this, you can see the economy for both teams is pushed all the way to the limit, to the breaking point. Whoever wins this pushes their opponents down to an eco. This is a huge round. It's basically 11-9 they're fighting for at the moment, and it's beginning towards the A site. 4 players, and a late rotate as well, or an early one, I suppose, by Artis, who's moving around through the spawn. This is going to be a full A take, and a rotate from Shadow will give them a 3-man stack by the time the push comes through.
Mixwell's position is huge, but he only has the judge this time around.
No dash either.
No long-distance fight seal that he'll be able to take. He's hoping they might push into him, but that's not going to be the case. FPX, they're keeping it defensive. Shadow's hoping someone's going to poke through. It's a waiting game and plenty of time on the clock. Angel, only good for one, but Zipan's there.
You will not kill
The revive comes in, ult's being spent. Patatek, he domes Shadow. Zipan's not finished yet, though. He's a one-man army right now for FPX. But is that one-man army enough? Oh, the timing! Patatek, how did you not get that? That's one you need to land. Luckily, he didn't lose any health himself, and he's just going to back the hell away. Oh!
He didn't mean to do that.
Oh,
That was a mistake.
That was a panic teleport. The revives come in. Now it's a 3v2. Patatek needs to do something huge here. They're all going together. Fast and furious from the FPX side. David P's in a good position. He might be able to at least get one. They're going onto the site. He's been slowed down for now. He starts with a first spray. The first shot's missed as well when it's returned with the operator. Nicely done from Patatek, but he's staying on the defuse. Xiao's just come off it. Is it going to be enough? Oh my God, Xiao! He manages to clutch it out. He brings in the 10th round, and he teabags him at the end.
I think that might be the first teabag of the tournament.
Suck on that.
He has earned it, Banks. My God, that was nuts. He came off it at just the right time. Just disgusting work being done at the moment, and that is FPX taking the lead in such an extraordinary way. Back and forth we went. Zipan just held on to it, and it looked like he was going to stick it and be caught by them, but one turn for the second. Oh my God, it's just horrible.
This is the power of Xiao, and he's having one of those games again. I nearly lost my voice.
Slapping them away like it's Shaolin. That's just disgusting.
This is only the first match.
I know. I mean, this is the kind of game we were expecting, Banks.
Yeah.
The first one was a little bit one-sided. It was a little bit boring at times, but this one delivering the whole way through. Even down to G2 taking out a bit of a force buy here. They've got stronger weapons than you would expect. The Judge, the Spectre coming through. Not the kind of buy I was honestly hoping to see. I thought they'd take an eco, but evidently they don't want to give 11-9 over in favor of FunPlus Phoenix. They want to try and fight for this back and forth, and it's been working so far, I guess.
Oh, a little bit of lag, but we're all good. We caught up with it all. Didn't miss any action either. Artist trying to work his way through. On the edge, though. Wants to be careful as the push comes in. He's going to get his grenade out and try and throw it towards the... Ooh, he doesn't decide to throw it to back. Now he's unsure. He's second-guessing himself.
Well, the decision has to be made eventually. 35 seconds remaining. FPX going to be heavily pressured to B. The tripwire is there to slow them down. The side steal doesn't actually catch Meadow in the back. He's able to take a quick double nasty stuff. Angel in with one of his own. And that is 11-9. FPX have won the round. Xiao is feeling dirty, feeling nasty. He's given it to them in many ways. And we are now going to see what should be a weak buy coming out from G2. That means they have to fight for an overtime. I see a ghost in play for Artis, but it looks like Pith has decided to go for the... Nope, he sold it. He's listening to his team eventually.
He's like, I want the Judge. I want Digital. Please, can you buy up Xiao? Please. We know you're having a phenomenal game. We know you want to give everyone Ligma, but it's not going to be happening.
What's that, Banks?
Out of my way.
What?
Ooh.
Can we watch?
Oh,
make sure- he's just gone.
What?
He's updrafted above that wall to try and get an angle into A heaven. That's
interesting.
Nuts.
So he got hit though.
We talk about
How's he low on
G2's
health?
No, they've obviously shot him when they would have heard him
Wow.
updraft, and they can hear roughly where, so they were ready for it. Artis has even opened it up onto Angel though, so still the advantage to play with. That's the boom bot opening, I think. Nasty.
Okay, enemies revealed. Zipan though, he's trying to put the hurt on him, but he's only good for one. Artis is coming through, swinging that pistol around, chopping him down. Xiao though now. Keeping the judge, Mitch. He's kept the judge.
He has.
Oh,
He's been
taking
shot in the
damage from
side.
mid. Oh, they ulted him down, even though he got the kill onto Artis. Less than ideal there. 11-10, it's still incredibly close.
They've at least wasted Artis' ult there, right? That's
Yes, yeah, the only one
that's-
up is Padatek.
2 times now that Artis has just been like, screw it, I'm gonna pop it.
Xiao also is very nearly at his ult at the same time. That's a difference maker in this. He's had such a good set of rounds.
But he has to find 1 kill, Banks. We know how hard it is for Xiao to find. Just kidding. He'll
The
have his rest this
Shaolin
round.
Sage will have no problems of
Absolutely.
getting these extra kills.
Karate chop you out of here. That's not the same thing, but still.
We can tell you took no martial arts as a kid, Mitch.
I did karate. Never made it past a white belt, but I was only doing
Doesn't
4 years, in
surprise me.
fairness.
I hope that's not true.
I think it was like a year. But anyways, I got the yellow tip. I always got the tip. FPX looking to get some tips on where these players are in towards the B site. Not finding anything just yet. Taking some peeks. Looking to get a couple licks of damage in there, but unfortunately, nothing going their way.
For FPX, though, they just need to hold on a little bit more. They've made it super competitive, and Zipan comes round, sideswipes them. They didn't expect it. They were both looking towards B. Headshots delivered, and it's 5v2. No chance of a revive. They do have it on their Sage, but he's dead already. Palatek wants to force his way in, goes in with the teleport, puts himself in a nice spot. He's managed to cross 1 spot at least, but the second, it's a lot harder. He's now been spotted out. Still manages to get the kill. Strong recoil can spray.
Oh, shot in the back, Angel. That's unfortunate. He could have dealt with Padatek if he continued to fight. Now the TP for the extra bit of information. No, actually, just with a plant over towards the A site. He's going fully for it on 50 health. This is going to be a rough one. They know exactly where he is at this point. Oh, but they haven't continued to peek. It would have been overfacing, really, and offered up a 1v2. But now Padatek's able to be sneaky and slip in towards the defender spawn. But Xiao deals with him, and that is 12 on the... Go on, Xiao. We knew it was coming. They tried to switch away for the sponsors, but Xiao's given it, and there's no taking it back. 12 achieved. And Raze is going to be the one to take that defuse.
How many kills does Xiao have now?
26?
Popping off.
Find
We
out
said he
soon.
didn't deliver yesterday to the standard we expect from him. But both him and Zipam are having good games. One more round is all FPX need here, Mitch.
There we go. Okay, so 26. Hell yeah. Quick math. 1 out of 2. 50% on your defender side. I think that those are good odds you'll take for sure. They could be
hell yeah.
dealing the hand to G2 that gives them their first series not win. It's not a loss, but not yet. It's at least a tie. And I'll take that. You know, under the new flag of FunPlus Phoenix, as a very fresh team,
Yep.
to dethrone G2, okay, it isn't a best of 3, but if they win it 2-0, it doesn't matter. At that point, it is a best of 3, you know?
Well, Angel started off strong. He's got the opening kick. Mixwell's gone as well. Piff trying to push his way in, but he's not even having the greatest of games. Oh, that flash is perfect. Padatek, they're able to save the day. Pushes further forward. Doesn't want to overextend just yet, but Artist, he's there. Xiao, understanding what could be going on. The slow's put forward. Revive's going to be used as well. Zipan's back into the action. They're pushing out. Padatek can't hold on. Angel, he's fierce when he's got that Vandal in his hand. Artist is going to try and play it sneaky here. It's a 1v3. There's one man that can do it on G2. It is him, but it's not going to work out. He's far too slow. Xiao went balls deep in that game and really stuck it to G2 from start to finish. And that is how we wanted this series to kick off. G2, they take their first game loss here in the tournament itself. It is a